towards 12 and Indian School, or 12 and Indian School.
I need somebody that's in charge. I need somebody, please. Yes, I need somebody down here right now.
Did you hear what's going on?
Well, my neighbors have cameras all over.
Okay.
So that's what I'm relying on my neighbors' cameras.
And what did they say?
They said they don't know why the police was called today. And so when the police arrived, I guess my son came out and said something to him. My son does have 4 warrants on him, felony warrants from the same girlfriend that was probably there just 30 minutes ago. She was there last night, I know. I asked them not to tear gas the house. They told me that I would be able to see my son before they took him away. He's a scared, 160-pound, scared young man that the drugs of Albuquerque has gotten him. We really need to go after the drug dealers in this city and save our children.
So you're saying he's on drugs right now, or he's had an issue with it?
He has a history with drugs. He's an alcoholic. And it's a very sad thing here in Albuquerque. My neighbor down the street, young man, not even just turned 18, OD'd in October because of these drugs on this street. They have our children's minds, they have their lives, and nothing's being done about the drugs on the streets. All these homeless kids, all these kids out here in the street, it's because of these drug dealers have them so drugged up. It's pitiful. Now our mayor needs to do something about drug dealers. They need to do something.
You're not gonna be able to hear it. Hold on.
All of this is unnecessary. All of this was a waste of tax dollars money. It was a waste of our tax money. All this. I know they need practice. I know they need practice, but this was unnecessary today. Now I asked them to let me see my son and to let me talk my son out of there, and they wouldn't let me. This big circus today was unnecessary. They used the tear gas. Okay, exactly. So I was lied to me. The whole thing lied to me, and I'm going to pray for you all because I really want to see my son. He came out peacefully. My neighbors have it all on their cameras. There's cameras all around you being recorded, and they have it on there. He came out peacefully, and now you're telling me because you had to use tear gas, and that was set in the plan anyways, that I'm not going to get to see him. With a young man that has issues like that. You did all you could. Mama's right here. Mama's right here. Mama could have went down there and got that kid out for you and carried him out, probably on my back to you if I had to, and put him in your car and handcuffed him myself if I needed to, just in order so none of you all would get hurt, and all this stuff right here going on would scare the living car out of my neighbors. Okay, so when am I allowed to go to the house? Because we're not getting anywhere right here, sir. Okay, and what was your name again, sir? And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I was lied to for the cops. And, you know, this is what we're fighting against right now, is when the cops deceive us, they put their words in with bulletproof window, and I could have been on a little red blue telling my son to come out, and he would have said, okay, there's my mom. Yes, I gotta respect her and come out. The shit show's over, Jesse. Let's get this over. Let's get you some help, Jesse, because I want my son to come out a better man after this, sir. You know, I want him to come out of bed. I want him to benefit from this. This is what we needed in our family. It took for months and months for this to happen. It's finally happened. But I asked you guys very kindly, and I was very nice to you all to let me go get my son. Put me in a cop car. You know, do what you gotta do. I don't care. Let me get my son out peacefully. That's all I asked you, is to have faith, sir. Didn't I ask you to have faith? I asked you to trust in God and to have faith, sir. You didn't have no faith, sir. I gotta go, sir. Exactly. I want to know when I'm able to go to my house. You tell him I need time. On what? They're investigating what? Wasting taxpayers' money. Scaring this neighborhood to death. I was deceived by the Albuquerque police again. They told me that I would be able to see my son if he cooperated with them. They shot tear gas into the house. When I asked them not to shoot tear gas in, I asked them to let me go down there and coax my son out. They could have put me in a car. They could have put a bulletproof vest on. They could have gave me a megaphone from the corner. My son was probably passed out in there because he was not responding. This is how they acted. My son has some violent charges, but the violent charges are from a female that still loves him. She's 12 years older than him. It's a violent relationship and it should never be, but it is. And all this circus today was unnecessary. It's a shame that everybody in this neighborhood had to go through this today.
So do you live at that house with your son?
No.
Oh, okay.
But what they did to tear gas, that was unnecessary today. My kid was probably in there passed out. Because he didn't come out, because they had to use the tear gas, which was set in progress anyways. The papers were signed probably an hour before I even got here. The tear gas was going to be used regardless if he cooperated or not.
Did you talk to your son while all this was going on?
No, he texted me, I guess in the beginning. He said, "I love you, Mom, and I love Nemo." And then my neighbors started calling me because it's being videotaped on their cameras. They said the cops came, my son came out and yelled something at him, and then he went back in, and that's when the shit show showed up. This was unnecessary. Spending of tax dollar money on a Memorial Day weekend, so I'm sure it's time and a half. Probably some of them even double overtime. Now let's get the violent ones off the street. That's the drug dealers. Let's get the drug dealers that keep messing up our children.
You said you had a message for the mayor earlier?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, you need to do something about the drug dealers in your town. They're tearing up our town. All these young kids out here on the homeless, they're on drugs. Why do you not see that, Mayor? Do you not come to our drug-torn neighborhoods? This was a nice neighborhood. The drugs have filtered our neighborhoods. The drug dealers are staying at Airbnb homes. They're renting homes, houses where they can stay in one day, sell their drugs, or prostituting, leaving them. When are you going to do something about our city, our town? I'm sick of the drug dealers. Got my son so messed up. My son was a good kid too. He's a damn good kid. How come you're not chasing down the drug dealers? We sold my son those drugs. Problems. PTSD.
So he's 29 years old?
My son's 29, has PTSD, is a very sick young man.
Instead of calling out SWAT and what we see here, how do you think they should have handled this?
Well, they said they had a negotiator down there. I should have been the negotiator. I'm his mama. We get through to our kids. Negotiators don't. Some negotiators may not even have children. You know, these classes people take, they think that it makes them official or whatever. They've never even had a situation like this. No, it's unfair to us. It's unfair to us parents. I should have been down there talking my son out of there. They should have put me in a car and had me in front of my house. My son does not have guns. The drug dealer probably has the guns.
Have you heard about his condition at all? Is he doing okay?
Well, I think he's okay.
It looked like he was in that ambulance maybe, right?
No, he's in the cop car. He's in the white car with the red writing.
Okay.
I don't know if they've already taken him. I can't see by some binoculars. I can see. I think he's in that car down there. They're investigating. And I'm going to sit here till they're done.
Well, thanks for talking to us, okay?